What's going on, guys? My name's Tarun Shetty. Welcome to the Convo Sutra. Coming to you from Hollywood. We have a fantastic episode lined up for you with some familiar faces, and we have a special guest that I'm so excited for. Let's get this party started. How about a quick intro for our audio listeners?
Sure thing. Hi, guys. I'm Fizaa Dosani. I'm a comedian, actor, and writer, and I run Facial Recognition Comedy, a monthly show at the Comedy Store.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ritu Mahindru, here usually to have conversation because I love to talk, and you can follow me on Ritu Talks on my Instagram.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Richard Sarvate. You know what it is.
Wow, so great, people, to have this crew. I'm so excited to have Fizaa on because I see your Instagram every day now. It's blowing up on my feed, and I always like it, and it's so quick and smart, and I see you in the clubs, but I never really get to talk to you.
Yeah.
But I feel like Daisy's kind of passing sailboats in the wind, and I see you at shows, and I'm like, oh, I gotta talk to Fizaa. I'm so excited to have you on the podcast.
Well, thank you for thinking of me.
Yeah, well, this is it. There's really nothing beyond this conversation. This whole podcast was an excuse to get to know you.
Yeah, might as well like two birds, one stone. I don't like that. Two birds, one scone.
Yes, two birds. One scone.
Yeah, one scone.
Stone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Scone?
Yeah.
Scones.
You can still throw a scone.
Well, here's the
I
thing.
like
I think PETA said that two
It's
birds,
just
one stone was too violent, so it had to be changed to two birds, one scone.
I don't think it had to be. It was like a harsh suggestion.
Yeah.
You know, as PETA likes to do.
Oh,
They
yeah.
like to lay down the law.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, words are powerful, I guess. So, you know, scones.
Yes.
Do birds like scones? I mean,
I
I've
don't know
never
if
really
they should
seen
be
a
eating
bird.
scones.
Yeah, I think a scone is poisonous for a bird.
And they are kind of
No,
hard
it's
too,
not.
right?
I think it
it's
is.
like bread.
No, but it's got sugar. I don't think birds are supposed to eat sugar.
Birds eat anything.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
I think.
I guess they did survive. They're from dinosaurs, so I guess
Maybe they
can
could
eat.
use it for nesting material.
I would definitely get in a nest with a bird and a scone.
This is the weirdest start of this
What's
podcast.
happening?
I swear to God,
What's happening?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Well, you have to
here.
understand that Fizaa brings a chaotic energy to anything
You know,
that she
honestly,
does.
Fizaa, so I was talking to Richard, and I was like, so your friend Zara was on, and
Yeah,
I
I
was
saw.
like, oh, I gotta get all of you guys on because you guys are all great. And he was like, man, Fizaa, man, she will just say shit, man. She has no filter, and I was like, perfect. I love that. Let's get her on. You know, so.
Is that why you texted me? If you don't want something to air, don't say it.
No, I know that is a blanket text that I send to everybody.
Okay.
So just so you know, but yeah, there's no restrictions. You can say whatever you want. So we're waiting for you to be like light the table on fire.
Well,
and,
I don't
Yeah.
have a lighter, but I see some sticks I can rub together.
Yeah, you can rub it together. And she was eating candy before.
Oh my God, sour candy! I haven't had that. I don't really buy candy, but if I see it, if it's available and it's free,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have a bowl of
Is it
candy.
here?
Yeah, right
Oh,
there.
because of Halloween.
Is it a Halloween thing?
Well, I don't know. They don't usually have candy
I
here.
thought they did. Last time I was here, I remember snacking on something.
How many times have you come here?
One other time.
Oh.
So one more time, it'll be a pattern. As of right now, it's, I don't know. I don't know if there'll be food next time.
Oh.
If there is a third time.
I didn't even notice.
You've been here before doing other people's podcasts?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was
Wow.
like, what were you here for before? We've only been here for Convo Sutra.
Yeah, this is a big space. It's actually pretty cool. But I'm really excited about this episode because Richard's back. And
I am back.
Richard was on the road. But I get to see Richard like sporadically. We get coffees. But this podcast is so much better when Richard's back.
This is how I hang out with people now. Like, you know how LA is. Like, you can't hang out with someone unless you're generating content.
I know, right?
So I'm just glad that, like, we get to feel productive and we get to hang out, you know? It's just the best of both worlds.
Two birds, one scone.
It is two
Yeah.
birds, one scone.
Which part
Fizaa
feels
already slamming dunking.
productive?
I feel like anytime I'm sitting in a room that's a ratio higher than 50-50 men to women, it's productive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, most of my life is spent in rooms with all men.
Oh.
You know, I realized recently, like, my head started hurting this week, and I was like, what's happening? I was like, oh, I haven't talked to a woman in like a month.
What
And your head was
happened?
hurting?
Yeah.
And my head started hurting. Yeah, I got a headache.
Usually men would say the opposite.
No, when I talk to a woman, I'm like, oh, like my brain feels a little better.
Someone who can, who has the emotional space to hear you
Yeah.
express yourself.
Yeah. When I talk to men, it's just like, what are you doing? How much did you accomplish?
Too much pressure.
Too much pressure.
Wait, and what does a woman say?
With a woman, it's like, oh, that sounds hard.
I could say that over coffee.
Yeah, dude,
That sounds hard.
if you could say that more, I think that would really help me a lot. So I haven't been here because I was in Bali for 2 weeks, and it was kind of funny. Like I went on some dates. I went on one date with this girl, and she was so sweet. Like she was like, "Did you have your dinner yet?" And it was like I was like, "Wow, no one in my life has ever asked me if I've had my dinner."
Oh, right.
Because we're in LA.
Yeah. In LA, no woman asks you if you had your dinner.
No one has meals.
That's true.
That's true.
You just chew on an almond for really long.
That's
Until
true.
you feel full. You just keep chewing on it. Don't swallow it.
Got it. Okay, so it's the dietary restrictions. It's not that they don't care.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense. Do you feel that pressure as a Desi chick here in LA?
I think just being in entertainment in front of the camera, there's a lot of pressure to, not, and then also being on the internet, because we were talking about it earlier, the comments are ruthless. Someone
Yeah.
told me to wash my hair in one of my videos.
Wash your hair?
It was an old video, so I don't even remember if my hair was dirty. I saw what they meant, but it's just like, that's a new one.
You're like, can you please send me some dry shampoo? So
I do have to say though, your hair looks way better than I've ever seen it before.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's trying something new.
Yeah.
share it. What is it? Don't gatekeep.
No, I don't gatekeep that type of
It's
stuff.
called water and soap.
What I've been doing, I've been growing it out. So I don't put any hair dye or anything in it. And then I trim it every season. So split ends sort of don't take over. And then to get the wave, like to look like this, I just put it in a braid and then I take it out.
You used to have like ponytails, right? Or is that what it is? Like ponytails or
Oh,
something?
yeah. I had a period of
Yeah.
time where I was like, I didn't want a single ponytail, so I did like the two.
Yeah, I remember that. That's the Fizaa I know.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was wondering when Richard was like, your hair looks better than I've ever seen it before. And I was like, what did it look like before?
Well, before Richard knew me, I actually used to have a blonde mullet.
Oh, what?
I don't know if you ever saw those
Well,
pictures.
I went back in your Instagram and I saw.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. I'm not, like I said, I've seen you in all your phases, all shapes and forms and everything.
Since social media was a thing.
He's got a
Oh,
wall
yeah.
at home with pictures of you.
Yeah.
With different hairstyles.
I have lithographs.
Do you really?
And daguerreotypes.
And you have like the red rope connecting the pictures. And
Abs-
have you discovered something?
Have I discovered anything? I think it's just chaos. I don't think it's like I looked at it for a while
Looking
and I
for
think
the patterns?
I was like, I was like Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind, and I just started becoming schizophrenic, and I was like, I should stop.
I think that's a good instinct to stop.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? I think that's what I've discovered recently. It's like, don't think too hard. Just stop. You know? Most people, they take one thought of something and they stop. Me, I do too many jumps and then I'm crazy. So.
I think a lot of people do that though. Like overanalyze things.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
So done with that.
It's like, she had her hair like this at this time. So what did that mean? What was she going through at that time of life?
What
Yeah.
does it mean?
Yeah.
It's funny.
Everything means something.
One thing that's very difficult for men, Tarun, do you feel like this? Is like women are so hot that like we have to just look at them all the time. And then, but if a woman catches you looking at her, they get mad. So a lot of my day is spent like trying not to look at women, but it hurts my eyes.
You get a headache if you don't talk to women. Your eyes hurt.
Yeah.
You look what's wrong with you?
I just
happening
want
with you.
women. What?
Something else is happening with you.
I don't understand. See, women, they wear the craziest shorts, and then you look, and then they catch you looking, and they go, "You looking at me?" And
How
I'm
do
like,
they catch you looking? You're not slick if they're catching you.
why do I have to be slick?
No one wants you to be. They're registering you as making them fodder for your whatever, your personal time. Like no one wants that. No one.
But then why would they wear shorts that
No
are so
one's know
short?
What? Oh my God, that is like one of the most chauvinistic things I have ever
Is it?
heard.
Well, answer that then. I kind of agree with him. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like women dress like that because they want attention. Am I
No,
wrong?
you made that comment that one time when I
Yeah.
came in wearing
You don't wanna
shorts.
say that.
And then again, you were like, feel free to wear your Daisy Dukes again. And I was like, oh, to me, it was a hot summer day and I was wearing shorts.
So you walked in here wearing those shorts with no acknowledgement of the audience that watches this and like, hey, you know what? It's hot outside. I'm gonna wear Daisy Dukes. That's what you're telling me?
Could you clarify, please?
Well, Okay, first of all, yes, it was in the heat of the summer, right? So it's like, what was it, back in like August,
September?
July, whatever. No, it wasn't.
December?
Whatever. It's still hot in LA. But yeah, I was wearing shorts. And quite frankly, I'm not going to lie. Like, I had been working out, so I knew my legs looked good, and I felt good in them. So I was like, I'm going to wear them.
Yeah.
That's it.
But I didn't wear it for people.
But do you mind if someone
necessarily.
admires, like if someone's walking by and goes, man, she's got nice legs?
Yeah,
Do you mind?
somebody did tell me that week that, oh, wow, you have great legs. And I was like, thank you.
Thank you, right?
Yeah. I mean, I worked hard for
There's
them.
nothing
Do you know
wrong
how
with
much I
it.
have to like
There's-
bench press, or not bench press, but whatever that thing is that you lay kind of, you know what I'm talking about? The weight that's like right there and you
Leg
push
press.
it. Leg press,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, that was some hard work. So I'm glad my legs looked cut and good. It's all gone now because I stopped working out. But
it's documented.
yes, it's documented. Thanks to those Daisy Dukes.
Well, Richard would have stared at you if he was here.
But I would have quickly moved my eyes away.
Oh, so
But
you do avert your gaze.
yeah, but this muscle right here, this to move my eyes is so strong
Yeah.
from all the like having to avert.
Richard, are you an ogler?
I'm 100% an ogler. Yes. But I think women appreciate my ogling because I think not enough men ogle these days.
I think every dude does to some extent, but you're right. You got to be slick about it.
Yeah, I feel like most guys are slick.
If a girl smiles at me, I'm like, oh my God, she's smiling at me. But girls don't do that unless I'm just hideous, like Quasimodo nowadays. But I feel like you need that encouragement for someone to actually come over and talk to you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to show appreciation and also like, look, I'm trying to like not restrict my life and who I am. You know, I want to live my truest self.
Tell him that.
Yeah.
I don't want to restrict my life. I'm going to stare at you.
She's like, what are you looking at? I'm like, I'm not restricting my existence.
And she's going to note that as a red flag.
Is that a red flag that I'm living my truest self? That I'm
Not necessarily, unless you're an ogler.
What's an ogler?
When you kind of like look too hard at a woman that you're sexually
Like you're
attracted
salivating
to.
and you're
Yeah.
just like so thirsty that it's on your face that it looks like desperation.
It's
Salivating?
yeah. Yeah. But that is my deepest desire, right? Like I'm a primal man. And
What is your deepest desire? To like attack a woman when you're staring at her?
I don't want to attack a woman. No, but I do find women very attractive. Is that an issue?
That's a normal thing. I'm speaking up for Richard.
Yeah, thank you.
I feel like guys have this carnal instinct in them,
Yeah.
which goes away in your 40s, which sucks. But in your prime, which Richard is, you have to take advantage of this because otherwise we're not going to reproduce. And man, man will
That's
die
just,
out.
It's just our genetics saying, hey, get some DNA to the
Fizz is
next generation.
horrified. She's like, I have said everything, and it's a horrific podcast.
No, not at all. I was just thinking about how, in your 40s, I think men start producing more estrogen. So you become more like us. So maybe you won't miss women as much when you're in your 40s.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
looking
why they
forward
get
to that.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that because it's taking up too much of my time. I would love to just sit down and write jokes, but I'm just like every woman that walks by, I'm just like looking, and I'm like, no, I'm supposed to focus.
I mean, I don't want to state the obvious, but like maybe you need a person.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
No, that never stops. You'll always be checking out women, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Even if you have a girlfriend, I'm speaking from experience.
That's
like,
why the slickness is so important.
yes, the slickness,
Mm-hmm.
especially in Los Angeles, because everybody's good looking out here.
Yeah, I mean, we all have
Yeah.
eyes. We're not blind. So we're going to look. But it's look, don't touch.
And you know the
without
problem?
permission.
No, I don't touch without permission.
That's good.
But
That's a positive.
ever since I got LASIK eye surgery, I can see women that are so far away.
Nice.
Like I can see women 2 blocks away. I'm like, God, she's fine.
Well, congratulations on your 2020 vision.
Thank you. Yeah, they might have made it too good.
It's a great ad for LASIK.
2015.
LASIK eye surgery. Get turned on from 2 blocks away.
It's a good ad.
Well, how come you just don't approach the women that you see as opposed to just staring at them?
No, I do approach them. Yeah, I say hi to a lot of women.
I just,
I make niceties. Go ahead.
you don't seem like you'd be starved of women the way you're describing. Like,
Yeah.
like there's just
thank
a
you for that
dearth of women
compliment.
in your life. Because Richard and I have been friends for years and
Yeah.
years. But I mean, maybe you don't see me as a lady because you describe me.
No,
as...
I see you as a lady.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
What?
Have you ogled at her?
I've ogled Fizaa a few times. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. You have a crush on her?
I mean, look, Fizaa and I mean, she's obviously very attractive. She's obviously funny, so I mean.
That's very nice. Thank you, Richard.
Did you want to ask her out? Like, should I help you facilitate this?
I mean,
now?
if I need to ask Fizaa out, I'll just do it myself.
Okay. I wasn't sure about the ogling situation, and I say hi to women, but I don't really approach them. So I'm like, what's happening here?
Richard, if you asked me out, it would ruin our relationship.
Okay.
I'm much better as a friend.
Perfect.
Oh my God, I've heard that line so many times from women.
But it's true sometimes.
Oh my
Rejection's
God.
protection.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's. I'm not an easy person to be in a relationship with, mostly because I don't really want to be in a relationship.
Fizaa has 2 gigantic dogs, so I think there's not room for any other male energy.
You told me that.
Yeah, I have 2. I have a husky that's 93 pounds, very big guy, and then a shepherd husky mix, and she's 45 pounds. So it's on the smaller side of big dogs, but between the both of them, it's a big human, not a big human, like a
2 dogs equal a
average-sized human.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Wait, you know what's interesting though? You did say I don't want to be in a relationship because I'm not an easy person to be with. But honestly, is anybody easy to be with? When we all sit with ourselves, some days I do love myself. I mean, most days I love myself. But some days when I see my little crankiness come out, I'm like, wow, good thing nobody has to be around it. But then other people have that same crankiness.
Well,
You know what I
comics
mean?
are a different beast, though. Comics, we have this weird, I don't know, you describe it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into details, but I have a lot of idiosyncrasies and stuff. I would get on Richard's fucking nerves. And Richard, Richard is a catch. I think Richard's a catch, and I think he deserves someone who, is compatible with
I feel
him.
like
And
you're
that's
getting gently
I think
turned down.
No, I definitely think Fizaa and I are very much a friend duo. We've hung out for many years.
You don't want to
we've
mess
known
it
each
up.
other for so long.
Honestly, every Desi guy needs a hot girl as a friend, woman.
yeah,
Needs a what?
sure.
Every Indian guy needs a hot friend, which Fizaa is,
Well, thank you.
just for credibility. So if you go to a coffee shop, if Richard goes to a coffee shop with you, people are like, oh my God, who's that dude with that hot? And you're like, this is my friend. And they're like, his status elevates.
No, I don't think that. When I see a guy with a hot girl, I'm always like, why isn't she dating him? So what's wrong with him?
Really?
Yeah, because no, this is not about you, Richard, by the way. I'm not saying that.
No, you can say
I'm
whatever
saying
you want
in
about me. I'm
general.
It's all about Richard.
I'm saying in
Hey, dude,
general.
I'm all about content for this podcast. I mean, let's whatever you want to fucking say. Let's go.
No, I just feel like in general, when I see a hot girl and guys or whatever, her guy friend or whatever, I'm kind of like, oh, well, this girl is so hot. Why haven't they either dated or why isn't she interested in him? So then I start to wonder what's wrong with him.
Maybe it's a compatibility or personality thing.
Yeah,
I
mean, obviously it
Yeah.
must be.
But I guess
it could be an attraction thing too.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
I get that.
Do you have good-looking men friends?
Yeah, but they're all married now. But yeah. Oh, except for you, Tarun.
Oh, thanks.
Except for you. And you, Richard.
I think these are great looking guys.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great looking guy. It's LA. I think everyone, if you've lived here for a year or longer, you just, your skin just starts glowing. I don't know, because it's also very expensive to live here, so you might just also become homeless. But
Yeah.
you go one way or the other, right?
Exactly.
Although even the people here who don't have housing sometimes look very good.
Oh yeah, there's some hot ass homeless guys here.
Oh, yeah.
They're new to the street or something.
yeah.
They're fresh off set or something.
Oh yeah. No, but I
to the
also
street.
think it just kind of proves that skincare is bullshit because there are some very good looking homeless people here.
But don't you feel like that dirt acts as like a sunscreen almost? Like the matted...
It does,
dirt?
yeah. You
Yeah.
spend a week on Skid Row and see how your skin turns.
Yeah,
I think I've
it's,
spent
it's like the Rose
a couple
Posay.
minutes on Skid Row. And
Yeah, I mean,
I was
definitely.
like, this is
Fizaa can blend in on Skid Row in some of her phases.
Really? I've only seen her at the clubs, and she's always like dressed up nice, and then here,
I mean,
she's like casual.
I want to like bring some, professional. Well, that's not even true. I know I've showed up to shows as a hot mess, but like we've also known each other for, I'm talking about years.
Wow.
So I think there was a period of time where you're like, why do you always look homeless?
I would say that for a while, yeah.
It was in my comfy era, I guess.
I think that's cool though that you've got this. You can kind of relax and be chill at home because a lot of girls. I've dated some girls and they're like so high maintenance. Even at home, they're like they never drop that guard. So
I'm the opposite. I do not like dressing up.
Yeah.
So if I dress up, I'm like, well, I better do some other stuff today with all of this. Like, I better shoot some content.
As someone who's attractive, do you feel like if you're too attractive on stage, that distracts the audience?
I mean, if you're funny, you're funny. But I think, being a woman because the point is to connect with the audience. So sometimes men may have a hard time relating to women. So you have to sort of, as I think a person who's not a man and not white, you have to sort of figure a way to quickly disarm and connect with the audience. So I think that could be one of the potential things that might be a distraction, but I don't think it, you can still have a good set. That's just something I think over the years you just learn.
We always talk about what to wear on stage and always like, what looks cool? But then for women, it's like, if you're too hot, the guys are like perverts in LA. We're just like looking at you like, ogling, yeah.
Well, definitely anytime I've done facial rec, I notice that the front row is creepy looking white guys. Or 100%, yeah. Every single time. And then I go on stage and the guys are like, oh no, do we have to look at a man for 10 minutes? I've done some freaky facial recognition shows.
With guys just show up and smell your hair, just
nasty ass guys. I remember at the Irvine Improv, there was one guy in the front row with like short shorts and just like hairy legs, and he was just like watching the show like this. And I was like, okay, that's a fan base.
So, Facial Recognition is a show that you do with all Indian women, South Asian women who are all really funny and all attractive. Right? Is that the pitch?
Well, it's I won't comment on anyone's attractiveness because that's subjective. But we also expanded to include comics of Middle Eastern descent, of North African descent, just brown comics in general, and some guys now too. But we started out with women, so we try to keep it female heavy. But we do like to have a sort of diversity within our own demographic.
I know he's joking, but do you actually have that problem, like just like dudes showing up who just like want to like see like pretty women on stage?
I mean, I'm sure that's part of it. We get told, like in the entertainment industry, like I had a meeting about someone with the podcast, and they were just saying, like make sure you're being a woman doing a podcast. Like part of that is looking presentable.
Yeah.
That, because I think when people see content online, you sort of, you have a response to it immediately. And anything that gets you to stay for that extra second, I don't know. It's sort of, I think it's kind of annoying, but, I guess it is what it is. In that sense, women are beautiful. So.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I looked right at Richard.
I'm only attracted to Tarun.
Yeah, dude. Man, so many times I wish I was like gay. It'd make my life so much easier.
Dude, it'd be so easy.
I swear to God,
Being gay
like
is the best.
the nuclear bombs in my life from women that I've caused myself as well. It's like, dude, so much drama. But I guess it's the same way I can't speak for gay guys.
Women feel that way too. Like sometimes it's like, oh, too bad I'm not into other women because life would be easier. Like we communicate at the same level. Like we can listen. We also know how to articulate our feelings. We're in touch with our feelings versus like with a guy, you're like, do you understand how that made me feel?
I'm speaking for myself here where I can't even gauge what's going to happen at home because it's up and down and I have no idea what the hell's going on. And I have to think, oh, you know what? She's guided by her emotions. Well, I'm guided by logic. That sounds horrible to say out loud. But I feel like I could never get a grasp of some relationships sometimes.
Do you think it's because of how society conditions males to not know how to process emotions, or how it sort of was, it's not really taught, I guess, or it wasn't. I don't know how people are raising their Gen Z kids, but
It's
that
probably
have
me.
kids.
Dude, no, Gen Z
probably
cries.
just
Gen Z can process emotions.
Yeah, they're good
I think
at it.
they're too good at it, honestly. We need to put a stop to it. Like, dude, straight up, like, if you talk to a 16-year-old boy, it's like, stop crying, get to work. You know, it's like everything doesn't have to hurt you. Everything is not trauma, okay?
Dude, you'd be a great dad, by the way.
Oh, 100%. 100% I'd be a great dad because I know the boundaries of things. I know what you're allowed to feel, and I know when you're going too far and being weak.
Son, this is how you ogle a woman at Starbucks. You gotta
Oh,
just-
dude. We'll bring binoculars to the nearest Starbucks. I'll be like,
Father
let's
and
go.
son.
Oh, yeah, father and son. I'm like, hey, I found a good one. Here you go.
That's fine, but just don't do the mirror under the table type of deal.
Oh, my God.
The
no.
mirror on the shoe.
No, women are crazier. Dude, when I was in the 4th grade, I was sitting across this girl at the cafeteria, and she goes, look under the table. I looked under the table. She pulled up her skirt and showed me her vagina.
Are you
Okay?
serious?
One girl
Yeah.
does not represent a whole population.
But that's my sample size.
1 out of 1.
At the cafeteria,
100%.
that is, I have a
All
100%
women.
hit rate with women showing me their vagina at the cafeteria. Yeah.
She was underage?
I mean, we were both in 4th grade.
Oh, okay.
And that really shaped me. That was a formative experience for me.
Dude, that actually could affect a kid.
Yeah,
Dude.
I could.
And then, and another time I was just studying at my window. This was like 7th grade. And the girl across the neighbor, like across the way, she pulled up her shirt and showed me her breasts.
So maybe,
How old were you?
We were probably both in 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
do you think maybe this is the sort of start of your fixation?
I'm the only man brave enough to admit my desires, okay? And all other men are just keeping it under wraps. But I'm being a role model for all men that we need to come out and be more forthright with our sexual desires because this is not right that I have to keep this under wraps.
Dude, I've always told you my feelings openly.
Dude, yeah, and this is our secret society, but I feel like we should be allowed to do this, you know, like worldwide.
Richard's going full men's
I
rights.
know. Seriously, I was like, am I part of a revolution right now? What's happening?
Welcome to the Red Pill Podcast. Let's go. Joe Rogan comes out.
The red pill thing came up in this podcast. I think Naomi brought it up. I was like trying to tell her, and then I was like, I don't want to get into this red pill shit. Some of it can get kind of dark. But I like what Richard's saying about following your dreams.
Yeah. Your dreams, your deepest desires. Because here's the thing. You have a brain here that's always being like, no, don't do that. Censor, 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 censor. And that's what makes your life terrible.
And then
gotta,
you
like-
have a lizard brain.
I do have a lizard brain. So do you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I wouldn't say that in an accusatory way. I'm just referring to that part of the brain that regulate our most basic
Yeah.
Wait,
desires.
why do they call it a lizard brain? I have never heard that.
Richard?
It's called it's the first, I'm
defer.
the expert. I'm the
Defer to
expert
Richard.
on this.
My lizard brain.
It's the amygdala. It's the first part of the brain that existed back when we were lizards. And then all the other parts grew on top of it. So you have the lizard brain that's like, eat, fuck, make money. And then on top of that, you have the like, okay, exist in society, curb your desires.
The rest of the brain is a big filter.
Exactly,
To
to stop
catch all
them.
the stuff that comes from
That's
the lizard
exactly
brain.
right. That's exactly right.
But Richard, I think I talked to you about this once. I feel like Indian men are kind of repressed in general.
Major.
And dude, like these doctors and lawyers and shit, like I'll see them at open mic sometimes, these guys who want to do comedy, and like the shit they say, I'm like, dude, this is what the inner thoughts? Oh my God, like you'd be
Yeah.
arrested if you said this on the streets somewhere.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure you guys have dealt with like these Desi guys. Like these guys are just out of control. You guys are staring at me like, yes, or maybe not. You can disagree, that's fine. But I feel like a lot of guys I talk to, they've got no experience with women sometimes.
I mean, but I think all men are repressed now because we're living in this time where we're not allowed to be men. So,
Are you trolling us?
no.
Seriously, I was like, as women that are representing here, what should we be responding to with this?
No, I'm just
I'm
saying.
just in a state of shock right now.
I'm just saying how I feel. And I know there's millions of people that agree with me, and they're all showing up in the comments to support me.
Fizaa, how do you feel about
This
this?
is why I carry pepper spray.
Yeah.
You know, when I walk outside.
Men are not allowed to be men anymore. That is 100% true.
Like what? Grab the cave woman by her hair and have your way. I mean, I'm glad. For me, from my perspective, I'm happy we've evolved past that. Just
Evolution
have a sensitive
takes
scalp.
Evolution takes millions of years, so
Yeah.
nothing's going to change in in 100 years.
Do you
Men are still men.
Do you feel like are you feeling like men aren't allowed to be men because like women have become more progressive and therefore you feel dominated against?
It's just the zeitgeist of the society. So it's moved against men right now because it's like, there was like, okay, women were oppressed and then women are now equal. And now it's going to go past to where like women are just going to be like using us as slaves for stuff.
Future's female.
Yeah, exactly, dude. The future is just women riding a man down the street as transportation. That's going to be like in 10 years from now.
I am looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Will that happen within our lifetime?
I know, right?
The way things are
kind of
dude,
excited.
if Kamala becomes president, dude, men are done. We're all gonna have to
Jesus Christ.
We're all gonna have to flay our dicks and turn them into pussies. Like it's gonna be a whole thing.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do you guys sense this from what we're saying when you go on dates with dudes? Do you feel like they're like Richard, or is Richard an exception?
I don't go on dates.
I just hang out with my dogs.
Really?
Fizaa has 2 dogs and a jar of peanut butter, so
A jar of peanut butter. That's disgusting. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm so shocked that
But yeah, I don't know. I see I feel like I see enough people for stand up that I'm just like, and I'm honestly pretty introverted, so I need like a lot of alone time. Like if I hang out with some people, I need time to unwind from that. So, if the first year I had my dog, he's a husky, so he's very social. I was going nuts. I was like, this guy follows me everywhere. What the hell?
Wow.
Can't have a moment, but then you can sort of get used to it. Now I have 2 dogs, but
So you never went through like a dating phase in LA?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, LA, I think, is notoriously difficult because I think everyone comes to LA. No one comes to LA to really like fall in love. You come to LA for a specific goal, usually.
Yeah.
So I think everyone's priorities are sort of centered around career and goals. And
Absolutely.
I feel that way about New York. Like, I
think
feel
it's
like
probably
New
similar.
York is like, you go, it's hustle culture, you're building something, whatever. I feel like LA is kind of like, yeah, you're working and you're looking for work, but people are also a bit like chill and they're down to like hang out or just enjoy life. Maybe that's my experience of LA, but I also grew up in LA. So I feel like every time I've left LA, I've had a different experience.
Oh, you've grown up in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people here
hometown.
really haven't, right?
No.
Oh, that's cool. That is cool.
Yeah.
Really, I feel like I rarely meet someone who actually
Yeah.
was raised here.
A native.
the issue with dating in general now is that everybody is trying to do better than they think they can do. So everybody thinks they deserve more. So, I've talked to plenty of girl comics. Dude, they literally go on Instagram, message basketball players and say, hey, do you want to hang out? They go, yeah. And then they just go and bang this basketball player. Now, these women all believe that they deserve like a star athlete. So when they actually go to get married, they're like, hey, so you want to do a relationship? And this basketball player is like, no, I'm actually on to the next thing. But then in her head, she's like, oh, I deserve a millionaire athlete. So she stays single forever. Now, same thing happens to guys too. Like, because you can always just hook up with a girl, but then you go to get married, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm on to the next guy. I'm on to that movie star, the next basketball player." So everybody's like looking for something that's better than their level, and no one is ever meeting
in LA.
people at their
I'd
level.
say maybe in LA, everyone's sort of trying to progress in whatever
absolutely.
way. But maybe, I mean, like in the Midwest, would that be the same story?
Yeah, I think so. I think like even if you're in some desolate town, I think it's just human nature to be a little curious. Like that's why people have commitment phobia, because they're always like, could I have done just a little better?
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
and sometimes I wonder the downfall in relationships is like, if that opportunity comes your way, will you stay in the relationship that you're already trying to build and foster? Or will you be like, well, now I'm getting attention from so-and-so, so maybe I'll move on,
Yeah.
If you find a more successful guy, I've had girls do this to me, and they will leave in a puddle of tears. But guys will easily go out with a hot girl who's working, who's an Uber driver or something.
But like you said, like you'll go out with a hot girl. So like if you get an opportunity to upgrade to the next model, the next hotter girl, would you go for that?
But what I'm saying is there's a physical thing and like a career thing, right? I think women are more like, hey, is this guy going to provide me stability and blah, blah, blah. Well,
Women
guys
care about status.
Yeah.
Men, we don't care about status.
Well, I think there's some biological wiring there where,
Yeah.
you know, like I don't want to generalize, but men are more focused on the looks.
Yeah.
And women are more, you know,
money.
not money, but I'd say stability.
Stability.
That's the same thing though, isn't it? Stability, money.
Oh, this guy's
In this
got
society,
got $1
yeah.
billion, but he's unstable. Like, I will not mess with him.
Elon Musk is unstable, okay?
Oh, dude, that's my fucking dad right there.
No, but that contradicts exactly what you were saying earlier today. Like
What?
earlier when you were like, oh, you know, if women take over, men can't be men. And that's another aspect is I don't think women necessarily need a dude, honestly, for financial reasons.
You'd be surprised in LA. Some girls I met and I'm like, I go out with them. They're like, oh yeah, I'm in debt like $300,000 or something. I'm like,
Oh
what?
my God, yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want any of your nonsense in my life.
Oh my God, dude, it's like a reverse dowry now. Like when you date a girl, it's like, wait, how much debt do you have? Like the last two girls I dated, one had $50,000 in credit card debt, the other one had $100,000 in student loans, and I was like, whoa, dude. And I was like, I could see myself like in the future. I'm like, I'm gonna have to pay that off.
Oh, because you inherit the debt when you get married.
Yeah. Totally.
Wow.
That's like
That's
really
something.
fast forward thinking, but I get that. But like, I think in my situation, like I've definitely dated guys who were pursuing their dreams because at that point I was the stable one and I wasn't pursuing my aspirations. So I was all about like, oh my God, I'm living vicariously through them because I was like, yes, you're doing the creative thing, or yes, you're doing the risky thing. You're building your thing, right? So I was the one anchoring things down and I did make more money and I didn't mind because I was so impressed by their motivation and their vision and so forth. But it's really funny because now that I'm in those shoes, where I'm the one who's trying to figure out my dream and want to build things, it's a point of contention, I think, for guys. Like, oh, like, so do you have a job?
I feel like you were, but you were dating on potential. Like this guy had the potential to blow up and be some person. Because now, if you date someone who's like some broke drummer from some band, you're like, this guy's a loser. But like back when he's like 25, he could be like the drummer for like Skid Row or something. So you're dating on potential versus actually dating someone for their actuality for who they are.
I'm dating on ambition. You know, like the fact that they're actually like, they're not like, I'm lazy and I'm sitting on the couch and I'm just, you know, eating bonbons or something or whatever people eat and watch TV. It's more like I have a dream, but like I have a dream or I have a vision and I'm pursuing something, and how that turns out or shakes out, no one really knows at the end of the day. But it's what's attractive is the motivation, not like I'm lazy and I've lost all hope in life and I don't want to even make an impact in the world. I think that part is uninspiring.
Dries the eggs up. You're like, this is not the future I want for my children. That's what the lizard brain is saying.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah,
I mean,
dries the eggs up.
yeah. Look, sex is more
Like,
risky
no.
for women, right?
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
The woman, like, so that's why she's got to be selective with the man. She's like, if this sex turns into us having a kid, can this guy take care of my kid? That's the situation. A guy, I can fuck anybody, and it's like, if she's got a kid, then I'll just run away. Like, I don't have to do
I'm gonna
anything.
go to Bali.
Yeah, I'll just go to Bali, dude. I got no responsibility, so I can have sex with whoever I want. So I think that's where it comes from. It's like a woman's just like, is the guy stable or not?
There's other qualities we look at. It's not just about your financial stability. It's about your integrity and like, what kind of guy are you? And like, are you actually going to like help me with stuff?
At some point, you're just like, let me just find someone I can be compatible with. Like eventually you just let go of this dream that we're all brainwashed with. Oh, I'm gonna get married, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually you're just like, let me just find someone I can hang out with.
I think that happens eventually. It's, what do they call it? Settling?
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what, yeah.
Time
It's
to
like,
settle.
oh, this is.
Oh, I can't wait to settle. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Probably when I turn 50 and I'm like, okay, now I'm officially dying. I'll be like, okay, now I will settle.
You got 3 months to live. I'll settle now.
Yeah. It's like, I'm just terminal. I'm like, beep, beep. I'm just swiping on Bumble. I'm like,
Just want someone to change your diaper.
yeah.
It's cheaper to have a partner than hire someone to take care of you.
Oh my God, lady to change my diaper would be so nice. Ladies.
But I like what
The mating call over there.
I like what you said though about solitude, because I'm like that too. I feel like I can function way better by myself. I was watching some Henry Rollins video where he was talking about that, and he was like, I just work better, and I'm also get depressed sometimes, and the work kind of brings me out of my funk.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. But you want somebody, Ritu, right?
Because
The way you're looking at me like,
I mean, some people, do sort of recharge from other people. It's a spectrum, I think, introversion, extroversion. But for me, I probably like more alone time than maybe the average person. I wouldn't say I'm like a loner, but I do really appreciate time by myself where I could, no one's bugging
so you hate
me.
this podcast essentially because
No, I'm mentally prepared. I was like, okay, I'm going to be social. I'm going to, put on my big girl pants and do it.
Yeah.
I'm here,
You're really here.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Physically, spiritually.
with good hair too.
Yeah, with good hair.
And then like I know everything's being on camera now, so it's like I even got dressed for you guys.
Well, your whole life is on camera now. It doesn't matter if you're in your apartment watching TV by yourself. There's a camera on you filming.
That's true. Hopefully it's not at a bad angle.
Yeah, seriously. Those bad angles.
That's the worst part about stand-up is everyone taking low-angle pictures of you.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're beautiful.
Thank you.
I have noticed you, and I think a lot of people are not attractive. That's my opinion.
There's a large percent of the
I have never,
population
by
that's
the way,
very
I just want to
unattractive.
say that for all the episodes that I've been on, I have never heard these two compliment a woman as much as they have you on this podcast.
Yeah, and we've had beautiful women on this podcast.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Zara would probably just curse you out.
Oh my god, I hate Zara
Oh my
so
God.
much, dude.
Can I tell you, that
not go
was one
there.
of the best episodes when Zara, she was like a half hour late, but when she came in, it was magic.
Oh my god, dude. Never put me on a thing with her ever again. I cannot stand being in the same room as her.
Dude, you guys have the best, I know she's
Chemistry.
married, but the best hate sex, dude. My God, you and her, it would be amazing.
Oh god, dude. No, dude. I would not let her have that. I would not want to give her that satisfaction.
You're lying.
I would jerk off 5 times before I saw her, so to guarantee that nothing would happen.
Just out of principle.
Yeah,
And then ogle her from afar.
dude. I would tape my dick down with like chains and masking tape.
Just to punish her.
Yeah.
I'm sure she thinks that's a big punishment.
This is a good note to wrap up on. Fizaa, do you want to plug something?
Yeah, so facial recognition comedy, which I mentioned earlier, is my show at the Comedy Store. Did you say?
Do we have to plug this show 8 times in this podcast? Dude, you have like 5 minutes of plugging facial rec on another podcast.
It's a good show, though, right? I've heard good
It's
things
a
about
great
it.
show.
It's a good show.
It's a great show. It's super fun. Our next one is November 15th. It's Friday, 10:30 p.m. in the Belly Room. Are you mad because you have a Belly Room show too that you're trying to plug?
Yeah, I want to talk about my show the same amount that you've talked about facial rec on this podcast. So I'm going to have to talk for the next 15 minutes about my show.
I mean, aren't we supposed to be wrapping up? You should have started 10 minutes ago.
Are you done with your plug?
Yeah. Are you done with your plug or
I'm
not?
done.
So
That's
hold on.
it.
So November 15th, Facial Rec. Go check it out. Comedy Store.
Yeah. Tickets are in my Instagram bio or at thecomedystore.com. I could keep going on.
Wow.
But I won't.
So, and is that an HTTP before the website or is it HTTPS?
You know, when you're putting in your credit card information, it will be secure. So HTTPS.
Got it.
Yes. Secure.
Great. I'll just wait for my turn to
All
plug
right,
my
Richard,
show.
go.
No,
Richard.
actually, I'm going to give my turn to Richard and then I'll go. Go.
What? No, you can't have
No.
last word here. No.
Why?
I don't want you to have last word.
Guys,
'cause
please. There's so many talk. We got to wrap this up. Please.
Facial recognition
I
comedy.
felt-
Right?
Ritu, okay, Ritu, please.
All
should
right,
go
all
in
right,
order.
all right. Okay, my plug. I don't really have a plug. Honestly, I'm going to be at Richard's comedy show on November
Aw,
10th. Okay.
that's so nice.
It's my birthday, and I'm going to
Aw.
be celebrating at Richard's show on November 10th. So come out.
That's really sweet. I thought you were gonna trash me.
I think like a website or something you wanted to plug.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, whatever. And Richard,
Thank you. Yeah, I have a show at the Comedy Store on November 10th, which is Veterans Day weekend. Hey, if you support veterans, which I'm not sure people do anymore, come to my show on November 10th. No, Ritu will be there. It's awesome. I'm going to do like 50 minutes. You know, I'm really going to tell you more about who I am.
Cool. And my name's Tarun Shetty. Check me out, whatever. I don't even care. Guys, thanks.
Your plugs are great, guys.
I know. I follow these people. I might be at their shows. Thanks for tuning in. Please don't forget to follow, like, subscribe. Please join our Patreon, some extra bonus stuff there. And we will see you guys next time. Take care.